Kempire is brought to you by.
Do you know how important it is to rate and review a podcast? Rate and review the Kempire podcast today. 5 stars. Let us know what you love about the podcast. Rate and review the Kempire podcast on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Did you know that you can watch the Kempire channel on YouTube, Facebook, and on Twitter? Follow us on all of our platforms. More information on our YouTube, our Blue Sky, our Twitter, aka X, and more socials, and every way that you can support us will be available in the episode notes.
You're listening to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. Be sure to like the video if you haven't already. Be sure to share the video and be sure to subscribe because it is a subscribers only live chat. I know normally we do not go live on a Sunday night, not evening, but night here in New York City. But I wanted to cover some of this because, you know, tomorrow we have our special guest, Layla Lynn, and Grace Report for our Real Housewives of Potomac recap. And, you know, we have our Married to Medicine recap. But before we get into any of that, I just want to say shout out to everyone already in the live chat. Shout out to our King's Guards. Shout out to everyone watching on Facebook, those of you watching on Twitch and Twitter, and of course here on YouTube. And I do want to say a special thank you to everyone that came to the New York City live show that we just had this past Friday. I want to say shout out to the Brooke Ashley. Allegedly Stephanie came through. We've got half of Chris from Pop Rose came through. We have and then all of you that came through and showed nothing but love. We had an incredible show, and shout out to all of you that were watching via the live stream. We had record numbers with the live stream, so shout out to those of you that were watching it from around the country and around the world. We appreciate you guys, and yes, there will be some video footage from this show. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned, members, first, because you'll have access to that. Did you guys watch tonight's episode of Real Housewives of Potomac? I made sure I watched it. I won't be talking about it here, but I made sure to watch it. But if you follow me on TikTok, if you follow me on the shorts and the things like that, then you already know I've talked a little bit about Karen and her situation. Her sentencing is this week, all right? But before we get to Karen, we got to talk about Dr. Heavenly Kimes. So Dr. Heavenly was getting it today. Mind you, I had started watching this live that she had did, and I was in the middle of it, but then I was doing so many other things today that I said, I'll get back to it. She has since either deleted it or put it on private, this particular video, because she's getting a lot of backlash because of some comments that she made. As always, mods, let's give the disclaimer. We do not, first of all, we don't normally curse, or do any of that stuff here on the channel. But also what she says could be hurtful to some folks that are listening, and you could be triggered by it. So I just want to give you that trigger warning because you know we don't curse like this. So if you have kids in the room or you don't like hearing Dr. Heavenly, this is your warning, okay? All right. So, Dr. Heavenly was live on her YouTube channel, and surprise, 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 she says something that a lot of people deem as problematic. And as someone that is personally a homosexual or a gay man, I'm sort of like, I'm not surprised. But I'm glad that people are holding her accountable. Some. So let me just first play the clip. The clip is very brief, so it won't be hours. We're not playing hours long. I did go back to see if it was still up. She has taken the video down. Of course she has. And she's since posted about this. So a lot of people have been reacting all day after seeing what Dr. Heavenly had to say about men, gay men specifically. Foxy says, cussing alert. Yeah. So, but this will be a very quick clip. It's only about 20 seconds.
What it is. So when you have a conversation with somebody, if somebody gets upset and it goes to the left, most men, real men, not gay men, not bitch men, you know what I'm saying? The guys that are kind of soft, but real men are going to feel like, you know what I mean? Straight men are going to feel like if you tell my wife to shut the fuck up, I'm going to have a problem with it. I mean, that's just, it is.
So as you can see here, she's talking about the episode just finished airing, the fight between King and Dr. Gregory. So this is what she was talking about earlier on her YouTube live. For me, this just shows me exactly who Dr. Heavenly is. I'm not completely surprised. I don't care how many gay friends you have. It's the same as someone saying, I got a black friend. I'm going to play it again because I've given you the context of what she was talking about. She was talking about the episode. She was talking about Dr. Gregory. She was talking about the king. And I can't even say it fight. I mean, it was an argument, but it definitely wasn't anything physical. I'll play it one more time.
What it is. So when you have a conversation with somebody, and somebody gets upset and it goes to the left, most men, real men, not gay men, not bitch men, you know what I'm saying? The guys that are kind of soft, but real men are going to feel like, you know what I mean? Straight men are going to feel like if you tell my wife to shut the fuck up, I'm going to have a problem with it. I mean, that's just, it is.
So I know she has since issued an apology, and we will show the apology. But for me, in this particular moment, you said exactly how you truly felt. Giving us some sort of hour later apology doesn't for me give I have truly reflected on what I've said and my ignorance. And look, we can get into a whole deep conversation on gay men. And, I know plenty of gay men that are masculine or this or that. It's not about that. It's not about that at all. It's more about this ignorance in 2025 that's being spread by a woman that has a large platform and supposedly has gay male friends. And this is how she views them. For me, it was a tell that hopefully, I know she has gay male friends. They will teach her in this particular situation. But this is a reminder to me that Dr. Heavenly just gets on her YouTube channel because her behavior has not been reprimanded. She hasn't seen any ramifications from people stop watching her, from people at the network, from people in production. She hasn't seen real ramifications for her behavior. And that's part of the reason why it gets worse. We've seen it in other shows. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, things get to a level like this. So she said that earlier today, and she's since taken that video down. She's also since been dragged. Every person, all the gay guys have been weighing in on social media. And she's since issued an apology. But first, Jerome wrote, he says, my initial response was to call her, but it's not always our responsibility to show grace and educate privately when it comes to public disrespect. Even our faves can make mistakes and need to be corrected. And this is why I always say to you guys, don't be team anybody. Because at the end of the day, you don't know these people. You don't know these people. And even if you love someone, even if you can stand for someone, there's nothing wrong with that. But you still have to be able to hold people accountable. Even with the whole Karen stuff, which we're about to talk about, I feel as if because people are such stans, they don't feel like they could call Karen out for terrible behavior. So Dr. Heavenly reposted this comment from Jerome and says, I'm with you. I apologize. It was an ignorant statement. I'm a grown woman. I can admit when I'm wrong. Mind you, periods and commas. Oh, Lord. She says, I didn't mean it that way. I'm going to play it again for you because what way did you mean it? You meant it exactly how it was said, Dr. Heavenly. What way did you mean it? And I think if she further explains it, she's just going to dig a bigger hole for herself. Apology. This is why I said this is like an hour later apology instead of really reflecting on what you said and the ramifications of what you said.
What it is. So when you have a conversation with somebody, and somebody gets upset and it goes to the left, most men, real men, not gay men, not bitch men, you know what I'm saying? The guys that are kind of soft, but real men are going to feel like, you know what I mean? Straight men.
So all gay men are soft. All gay men are B words. I didn't mean it that way. What way did you mean it? It's the ignorance that continues even in the apology. What way did you mean it? Just apologize. Say it was an ignorant comment, period. I need to learn something from this. But no, so I didn't mean it that way. Do I think that Dr. Heavenly has hate in her heart for gay men? I don't think that she has hate in her heart for gay men. But she needs to realize that she has blinders and there's a level of ignorance and prejudice that she does have and a viewpoint of gay men that she does have that she needs to educate herself on. because she loves to go on her YouTube channel and say, oh, I'm educated, we're doctors, and we're this and we're that. And people have said countless times that, Dr. Heavenly, you're the worst of the worst. You're ignorant. And today just showed everyone and proved everyone's point that you're ignorant. And even in your apology, I didn't mean it that way. And what I always say, and this is not me being on any sort of pedestal, we all make mistakes, especially as talking heads. We might say something that might offend people and things like that. However, it feels as if this is happening on a weekly basis with Dr. Heavenly. Last season, it was talking about people's infertility and this and that. This season, it's all this craziness that she's speaking on her YouTube channel. But again, because of there's been no true ramifications for it from the network side, from the production side, and she thinks that this apology is going to sweep it under the rug. But that wasn't a real apology. I didn't mean it that way. So what way did you mean what you said here?
What it is. So when you have a conversation with somebody, if somebody gets upset and it goes to the left, most men, real men, not gay men, not bitch men.
How are we supposed to take this part? How are we supposed to take this?
Men, real men, not gay men, not bitch men. You know what I'm saying? The guys that are kind of soft, but real men are gonna.
So, Dr. Heavenly is feeling the backlash. She's since deleted this entire video, and I was trying to remember some of the other things that she said in the video because we do our Married to Medicine recap. But I'm glad she deleted it. However, it's out there. Once you put it out there, she didn't realize that people would gravitate to what she said. Again, ignorance. She says it was ignorance, but she's like, I didn't mean it that way. So what way did you mean it? What way did you mean it? What were the adjectives that we're missing out on? We'll wait. And very much like what we saw with Dr. Jackie. I know Dr. Jackie's like, how I get in it? Well, we saw Dr. Jackie's apology that lacked accountability, that felt rehearsed. And then we went to the reunion, and then there was no true accountability or real conversation about what was said on Dr. Heavenly's YouTube channel. Darian says, her fans enable her. I just love her and her antics, as a quote. Here's the thing. It's not even about that, because at the end of the day, fans are going to either watch something or not watch something. At this particular point, it's up to the network. This is an employee. Can you imagine me working at my corporate job saying something really ignorant on social media, especially in this day and age in social media, and there wouldn't be ramifications for it? And then you're saying, I didn't mean it that way? And I know a lot of people are asking, I wonder what Andy Cohen has to say. Look, they don't even have a reunion. I mean, the reunion's already been filmed. So I don't know when we would see any sort of conversation about this. But I wanted to have a conversation today, and we can continue talking about this tomorrow during the Married to Medicine recap. That will be tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget, at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. PST, we have our friends, Grace Report, and Leland dropping by for the Housewives of Potomac recap. So stay tuned for that. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Hey, Zeus, nice new picture. I haven't seen you in a hot second. He says, she said gay men, B men, soft men, and a straight man. She knew exactly what she was saying. And look, this is something, especially within our community, which is important for us to talk about. I still see in this day and age, especially within the Black community, people that are still homophobic. So there will be a lot of people that will be like, I don't see anything wrong with what she said. I understood completely what she said. There will be a lot of people that will defend what she said. And I'm just going to say this, especially because it's Black History Month. An injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So if today it's gay men, tomorrow it'll be women. The next day will be Black women. And if it's not Black women, it could be another, minority group. That's what I live my life by. I always have to go back, well, just because it's not affecting me now doesn't mean that it won't affect me later or other people. This is why it's important to care about other people and what other people are going through. If there's injustice what other people and what they're going through. And this type of ignorance just perpetuates that homophobia. Anyways, I say all that to say, let's talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac. Not tonight's episode. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But Karen Huger. So if you follow me on TikTok or if you follow me on Instagram, I did post earlier today that the Washington Post wrote this article highlighting some information that's been speculation and rumors. Because remember, we've said, oh, it was 2 DUIs. It was 2 DUIs. And then at one particular point, we got more information. We were like, apparently. And we would always say, allegedly, it was 4 DUIs. Well, now prosecution is confirming that it was 4 DUIs. Okay, so let me just read this to you, and I will take a couple of calls, guys. It's late. It's a Sunday. My arm is hurting from my vaccination. I'm like, ugh, damn. So I'm a little tired, too, and it's been a busy day and a busy weekend. Look, I'm still riding high from Friday. Shout out to everyone that came and watched on the live stream. We appreciate you. So according to the Washington Post, they wrote this article yesterday morning. They said that on a recent episode of the Real Housewives of Potomac, discussion turned to an absent character, Karen Huger. The Grande Dame of Potomac had gone off to an alcohol rehab, and her fellow housewives debated how that would sit with a Maryland judge who will sentence her soon for something she did off air last year, driving drunk and crashing her Maserati. So there's a few things that come out. How many DUIs that she's had in the past? Also, did Karen Huger actually go to a fully fledged rehab, or was it a luxury resort? So Mia Thornton at the time says, do I feel like she's going to rehab right now because she's trying to lessen her sentence? Absolutely. Wendy Acefo says, I can't knock the hustle. I would too. Stacey Rush says, that is unfair. Who advanced a different tack, said, let's give her grace. Okay. Huger, who's 61, is back in Potomac and set to return to Montgomery County Circuit Court on Wednesday for sentencing following her convictions 2 months ago for drunken driving, failure to control her speed, and other counts. The trial was widely followed, owing in large part to the police body cam evidence that was made public and showed a visibly intoxicated Huger stumbling at the scene, slurring her words, and being taken to a police station. The show has hardly shied away from the case and recently aired excerpts from the videos. Oh God, Huger tells one of the officers, I'm lit. I had to say it the way she said it. Huger could be sentenced up to 2 years in jail, prosecutors said in court filings. In a reflection of Maryland's sentencing guidelines, though, they are seeking 6 months. So remember, we've been talking about Karen possibly facing 2 years in jail. The prosecution's only seeking 6 months. I don't know if I feel like that's fair, especially if this is your 4th DUI. But I'm not an attorney. I'll wait for the attorneys to weigh in. Huger's attorney will seek a sentence that imposes no jail time, but instead stresses rehabilitation. Huger is expected to speak at the hearing to be held before veteran judge Terrence McGann. A recent court filing by the attorney, David Martella, offers a preview of what they are both likely to tell McGann. That includes the profound impact the trial left on Huger, who during the proceedings sat silently as videos were played and witnesses spoke. She was shocked with embarrassment, Martella wrote. She could not turn off the testimony or the body cameras. She could not get up and walk out of the room. The trial was a wake-up call. The call led Huger to check herself into a 28-day stay at a treatment center in Florida to address 3 problems: alcohol abuse, over-reliance on antidepressants, and trauma dating back 42 years to when she was R'd in college. Since coming home from the center, Martella wrote, Huger meets every morning with an AA office, an Alcoholics Anonymous coffee group. Prosecutor Jordan Kramer is poised to offer a different view. Sidebar, I know that Alcoholics Anonymous, they have their meetings and things like that. I'm wondering, is Alcoholics Alcoholics Anonymous coffee group the same equivalent and they're just calling it that? I don't know. If you do, please feel free to weigh in. Her behavior is questionable because this particular part, prosecutor Jordan Kramer is poised to offer a different view. Her filings reveal that Huger had 3 alcohol-related traffic cases from 2006 to 2011, which yielded a guilty finding for driving while impaired and another for driving under the influence, neither resulting in jail time. And then, and I'm sure they're not going to bring this up, and I'm not trying to be a rat, but she ratted on herself during the season that she got behind the wheel of a car while impaired. She claims that she pulled over and called her driver, but do we know if that's true or not? So they're saying between 2006 and 2011, she had multiple offenses in regards to drinking under the influence. They said, which yielded a guilty finding for driving while impaired and another for driving under the influence, neither resulting in jail time. Y'all told me Maryland is very serious about this, so I'm very shocked, unless these weren't in Maryland and they were somewhere else. So I don't know. The fact that Ms. Huger has repeatedly been given the benefit of another chance on 3 separate occasions demonstrates that she has not learned anything from her prior arrests, Kramer wrote. In fact, it appears as if that she has been emboldened. I agree with this. The prosecutor recounted the latest incident when she swerved down a dark, narrow, winding road. Ms. Huger is extremely lucky that neither she nor anyone else was seriously injured or even killed, the prosecutor wrote. And she criticized the timing of Huger's rehab after the conviction and her selection of a facility that offered spa services, chef-prepared meals, equine therapy, and organic recovery garden. Remember, we all kind of speculated when they released a statement about Karen going to rehab. The wording was interesting because I was like, was it really a full-fledged rehab? Based on the prosecution and what they know, they don't believe that it was a proper rehab for her. They said the state is concerned that the program that Ms. Huger did choose to enroll in equates itself to a luxury resort experience, Kramer wrote. Huger grew up, as you know, in Surrey County, Virginia, and attended the University of Virginia for 2 years, but withdrew after being barred by a fellow student. Aspects of her life she has shared on the show. Huger started and managed a staffing company for 2 years, went on to marry a Maryland businessman, and raised 2 kids as a stay-at-home mother. By 2016, and for its premiere season, The Real Housewives of Potomac came calling. They say, and in Huger, it had a fan favorite. Episodes followed her launches of the fragrance, blah, 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 blah. The show chronicled her work with PAVE, a group that supports survivors of S violence. By spring of 2024, she was rolling in her 8th straight season on the show. The night of March 19th, Huger had met a friend for dinner where she drank champagne before driving home alone. According to court filings, just before midnight, 3 miles from her house, Huger's car veered left on the center median and ran over a pedestrian crossing sign. Then she veered right across the road and onto a grassy area where she crashed and hit another street sign. The car's front was crushed and its airbags deployed. In short, police arrived and arrested her. Though their videos weren't made public at the time, news of the crash and her drunken driving charge leaked out. Huger downplayed what happened, saying, I'm adding this part, that she would be vindicated during the season. Last night, I met a girlfriend for dinner. We talked and brought up some very emotional, sensitive topics, she told TMZ. I was crying on my way home and saw a car heading right for me. I swerved to avoid the head-on collision, hit the divider, and then a tree. I'm hurt, bruised up a bit, but so grateful I am alive. The statement didn't mention drunken driving citation. 7 months later, Huger told E! News, I'm waiting for my truth to come out. That's what she said. I'm waiting for my truth to come out. The truth 2 months later, as concluded by the Montgomery County jury, was that Huger was guilty of driving under the influence and other counts. Within 2 days, she was filmed for a future episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Do you think that you may have an issue with alcohol? She was asked. Karen responded, no, I am not an alcoholic. Let's be clear. At the time, an over-reliance on antidepressant medication was still clouding her understanding of what happened, according to Marteller. The attorney said that Huger's impairment shown on the police videos resulted from a combination of alcohol and medication. Her exact alcohol level was never known because she refused to undergo a breathalyzer. Jurors reached their verdict after watching the videos, which clearly showed that Karen Huger was inebriated, and hearing testimony from responding officers. Sergeant Brett Trahan told them she was hammered. Beyond her sentence, Huger's return to the show remains both unclear and a subject of intense interest from viewers. She recently offered her preference, saying in a video piped into a recent episode that she wanted to dial back her character, no more Grand Dame. I plan to be coming back as Karen Huger only, she said, because Karen is enough. Here's the thing. Based off of everything that we know, from the body cam footage to this latest update from prosecution that this is her fourth DUI, she's facing only, and I'm saying only, 6 months in jail. Would I want to spend a day in jail? Never. But I'm also not getting behind the wheel of a car and risking my life and other people's lives. 4 times. That's recorded. We don't know how many other times that she's done that. I think the biggest thing that will teach Karen Huger a lesson is not jail time. I think giving Karen Huger time away from the public spotlight, from being on Real Housewives of Potomac, actually might help her. And I know some might say, well, Kempire, this is reality television. There's nothing more real than this. No, you know what's real is that she has a problem. You know what else is real is that being on this show feeds that problem. She needs to take care of herself. Not everything is meant for reality television. And it's very clear, and I said this before when we saw the body cam footage, cringy. No one enjoyed watching that. No one takes joy in seeing Karen fall from grace, because we all love Karen. Karen has been an essential, fun, funny part of Real Housewives of Potomac. But this was irresponsible. This is her 4th DUI, but God only knows how many times she's gotten behind the wheel of a car. We've heard countless people call into this channel or share in the comment section about losing a loved one or friend to a drunk driver. She's lucky that that is not her story. So we're going to continue to follow this. As I mentioned before, Real Housewives of Potomac star Karen Huger is going to be sentenced on Wednesday. They have talked about this during the reunion of the Real Housewives of Potomac. Part 2 aired tonight. Part 3 will air next week. You guys will share your thoughts, I'm sure, at some particular point. Tomorrow, I will be live with Layla Lynn and Grace Report for our recap. The Dream Team is back together to talk about tonight's episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac. And then, of course, at 4 p.m. Eastern, I'll be recapping Married to Medicine. All right. I am going to drop the call-in link for everyone. But first, I'm going to drop the call-in link for our members on the community tab. I'm not going to take everyone tonight. As I said to you guys before, it's been a long day. My arm is sore. I need to go lay down. Okay, I need to lay down, but I do want to hear what you guys have to say, because you always share interesting perspectives on all of this. So if you're a member of the channel, I'm going to drop the call-in link on the post tab. And if you're the part of the replay crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts on what Dr. Heavenly had to say and what the prosecution has said about Karen Huger. They're saying there's 4 DUIs. They're saying the rehab that she went to was basically a luxury resort. And this is why I also believe that she should face a harsher punishment, not necessarily within the judicial system, but Bravo. Bravo, as a company, has an obligation to make sure that she gets the help that she needs, but they don't have to bring her back on the show. They'll be like, you know, I think what's in the best interest of you is to take some time off and fully get the help that you need. I mean, her going to this luxury resort or this rehab actually saves her job, but it also doesn't mean that they have to bring her back. I would honestly say take the season off. Take the season off. Thank you so much, Angela. Angela says, Kemp, thank you for the Traveling While Black vlog with DJ Richie Sky earlier today, guys. If you missed it, we had a great conversation. We talked some housewife stuff with DJ Richie, but we also talked a lot about traveling, and yeah, it was a great conversation. I'm so glad that he was able to come by and do that. So if you missed that earlier today, our mods will be posting links to that in the chat, or you can just go to our YouTube channel. Shout out to those of you that are watching on a variety of different platforms. Shout out to those of you watching on Twitch, Twitter, on Facebook, but of course here on YouTube. Mods, we have 18 plus 100 people watching. Where should we go to before we drop the call link for the general audience? Let me know. But our members, we've dropped the call link on the post tab here on YouTube. We have a few people that are already backstage that want to share their thoughts. I'm going to bring them up first. All right. First of all, thank you guys so much for being members. And let me put up my little disclaimer before we do that. Okay, the opinions of the callers do not represent the opinions of myself, TheKempire LLC, our sponsors. Everything that they say is alleged and of their own opinion, not the opinion of myself or our sponsors or TheKempire LLC. Okay. All right, Judgy Justice is backstage. We're going to bring Judgy Justice up first. Judgy Justice, what did you want to share?
So I feel that first off, I feel like Dr. Heavenly always has like a short memory. She says a lot of problematic things, and it's just every week or every other day, it's something else that she's saying, and she's just not a nice person. It seems like she just seems to be a very vicious with her tongue, and she should work on that.
Yeah.
And then also for Karen, justice for the trees. I'm happy that this is going to be wrapping up for her. She drugged this out as long as she could.
Justice for the trees.
Yes, that's what she hit.
Yeah.
That tree. If that tree could go testify against her,
Judgy Justice, you got me crying. Look.
But yeah, I'm happy that this is finally resolving. And we can finally have her move past this, but she should go to jail. My vote is for her to go to jail, and for her to have strict probationary measures that would help her in her rehabilitation, because going to those services, wherever she went to, probably wasn't a Maryland approved facility, because there actually are treatment centers that you can go to for this that would have been approval for the programs. Yeah. But she's not doing none of that. All right. I gotta go. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Okay. All right. Miss Sharon is backstage. Lord, I got something. You know when you get something in your eye and it just won't come out? Now my eyes all watery. This is time for me to go to bed. All right. Let me bring up Miss Sharon next. Miss Sharon, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire. How you doing this evening?
Well, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Remember when I told you I saw Karen and it looked like she was on a beach?
Yes.
And she had a bunk, and everybody was telling me that could have been a rehab, and I got to thinking, well, yeah. And I forgot to tell you I saw the palm trees, and I was thinking she was in the Bahamas. But then I got to thinking, people were saying, and I said that she didn't have her wig on. And then I remember that Giselle said you can't wear your wig in jail.
Yes.
So I said, well, maybe she is at a rehab.
Yeah.
But this was a luxurious rehab. I don't know. But I think I've seen them advertised on TV before. I think this one had to be like in Florida.
Wow.
Because the palm trees, I've been to California and Florida, and you can kind of tell the difference between the palm trees. And this one looked like it was in Florida.
Okay.
And it looked like to me, but it was, to me, it looked like she was in the Bahamas, basically. Okay. So that's why I was saying I didn't think that Karen really went to a rehab center. I thought maybe she went on vacation.
Well, apparently the prosecution agrees with you. Okay. All right, Miss Sharon.
All right, bye.
Take care. Yeah, and look, I don't know the name of the rehab. I don't know if the name of the rehab has been released, but the prosecution definitely knows, and they looked into it, and apparently it's not one of the ones that they probably would approve of. Okay. All right, Jocelyn, I'm going to bring you up next. Jocelyn, what did you want to share about all of this news?
Hey, Kemp, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. I totally missed your recap. I'm gonna be honest, but I watched this show and I had to call in. Tomorrow's my birthday, Pisces season.
Yes, happy birthday.
Thank you. But when I think about what's going on with Karen, I think she was more focused on making sure her wig was comfortable, instead of focusing on her treatment, because she really should have picked a place that met certain criteria and really would allow her to dig into some of these issues. The comments that she made when she was inebriated are disturbing, and especially considering the family history that she knows so well. Yeah. And so I think maybe just being focused on that and really healing and digging into her past trauma, because that's just one of those things. Yeah. So I hope that she ultimately gets the help that she needs. I mean, she does have a daughter. She has a son as well, and she is someone that people look up to in the community. So if she took it seriously, she could really be a great story of resilience. So maybe this time will allow her to reflect and maybe get some treatment that she really needs.
Thank you so much for calling in, and have a fantastic birthday tomorrow.
Thank you, Kemp.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Bye. Happy Pisces season to anyone celebrating. I have quite a few Pisces friends. I forgot. I was like, oh, wait, it's your birthday, right? All right. Live chat, our mod said that I should drop the call-in link once we get to 800 likes. If we don't get there, that's fine with me because I can go to bed. But if you're a member, I've dropped the call link on the post tab. Ms. Parker's backstage. We're going to bring Ms. Parker up next. Ms. Parker, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey, how are you?
Can you hear me good?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you. So, heavenly. Yeah. I truly believe that Bravo needs to tell her she needs to take a break from the YouTube. I feel like, and I actually have enjoyed her YouTube in the past. It's just that recently, when she goes dark, she goes to the darkest places. And then the ignorance starts to spew.
Yep.
What she said today was totally uncalled for. And if you have the forethought, then maybe she should use that. I think she needs to be moderated. Maybe she should call Jamie, Candy's assistant.
I don't think she can do it because remember, Jamie does sweet teas.
Right, exactly. So then I guess that's a conflict of interest. But just to sum it up, she truly needs to just sit that down and focus on the show. I know she does it to get more engagement on the show, but I think she needs to focus on being on the show instead of doing this, because it's a no. And I was totally disappointed because I'm like, I didn't even hear her at first.
Yeah.
So, and then when I went back and I'm like, ooh, everything is just so cringe these days.
And it's because it hasn't been checked.
Right. So they do need to check her, and I think she needs to take a long, hard break so she can reflect. But thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Parker. Have a good night. All right. Live chat, I'm feeling generous. We do have 2 more members backstage. Let's get to 700 likes. I am going to drop the call-in link. Drea, I want to say thank you so much for your generous super chat. Drea says, Kempire, it's Drea from Brooklyn. I love you so much. It was such a pleasure meeting you at the New York show. OMG, I had fun. Karen needs a slice of humble pie. I'm so disappointed in her. It was great meeting you as well, Drea. Thank you so much for coming and being such a light. Everyone, I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys, but the staff at the Green Room 42 says your community is just so nice and so polite. And I was like, I know. Like, I know. I'm like a proud father. I know. Thank you so much, Drea, for the super chat. Appreciate the support. And yes, New York, I will do another show because Bernice asked me if I was going to do another show. Yes, we had a very great crowd and live stream, so I will do another New York show. Warmer months. All right, let's get to some more callers. All right, I'm going to bring up Kookie in just 1 second. Let me just drop this here. All right, let me bring up Kookie. Kookie, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I just wanted to get on here and say that, I'm praying for Karen. I think she has some kind of sickness.
Oh, yeah.
It's not okay. She could have lost her life or took someone else's life. So it's just, I'm just handing it to God and just like, you know what, Lord, work your magic on her because it's not good. And as far as Heavenly goes, I watched the video, and when I watched it, I thought that she was mostly talking about straight men when she was referring to like the softness and the sassiness and the real men. Because I think we can see all the time that, people of the like gay men or like more feminine men, like they feel more comfortable arguing with women But I just feel like that's just like a relationship. It's almost like brother, sister. Like, let me check you because I understand where you're coming from, but this is from a man's perspective. So I feel like a lot of times we see a lot of allyship with men, with gay men and women. So I feel like, those are the men that we feel safe with. Those are the men who stick up for us and who see the things that women go through. So I didn't really appreciate, like, once I went back and watched it, I didn't really appreciate the comments that she had to say.
What did you think about her apology too, where she said, "I didn't mean it like that"?
I don't think she's homophobic. I do think she's hella out of pocket all the time. So I just think that, like, it was just like a sorry ass apology. Like, let me get on here for a couple of minutes and say a couple words. It wasn't a real apology. Like, she needs to learn how to, like, watch her mouth. Like, seriously. Like, stop grouping people together. Like, name it. Say Dr. Greg. Say who you gotta say. Yeah. Don't try to put this off like, what gay men are you talking about? Like, who on the show? Like, so just name who you're talking about. Like, why were they even in the conversation? That was weird. Very weird.
All right, Kookie. Thank you so much for calling in. All right. One thing that I wanted to mention in regards to her apology, Dr. Heavenly's apology, the same way you got on your YouTube channel to say and spew the hate that you spewed, you should have got on your YouTube channel and issued an apology instead of the grammatically terrible apology that you posted on Twitter. All right, Danielle's backstage. We're going to bring Danielle up next. Danielle, what did you want to share about these hot topics?
Hey, okay, so I saw the clip of Heavenly's clip before the show aired tonight. I'm sure you're going to talk about this tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But I feel like it has something to do with what Dr. Daddy said on the show, too, because he said a real man will always stand up for his woman. So I think not justifying it, because I still feel like she was wrong. And so many of people who support her are from the gay male community that it just didn't make sense. And I'm sure that your Olivers, your Funky Dunnies, I'm sure people were probably hitting her up. And to your point, the way she got on YouTube and said it, she should have got on YouTube and made her apology. But I haven't seen the apology. I don't personally believe the apology because, to your point, she did it on Twitter. If there are grammatical errors, that just makes it even worse.
I'm going to give you I'm going to show you the apology. I'm with you. I apologize. It was ignorant statement. It was an ignorant statement. I'm a grown woman. I can admit when I'm wrong. I didn't mean it that way.
No, that's not enough. That's not enough. That's not enough. Take it to YouTube, Elaine. That's not enough.
Dr. Damon Daddy probably told her she can't go back on YouTube.
Dr. Damon Daddy should have put his foot down a long time ago. How about that?
Here's the thing, though. She's a grown adult. Yeah. I mean, I get that's the part of the reason why you have a partner, but she's a grown adult.
But he also doesn't hold her accountable for anything. At least we don't see that part. And maybe that's the stuff we need to see as well, because he comes across just as stupid and ignorant as she does by not, manning up and making her own stuff on camera. If she says it on camera, make her own it on camera. There's that. I've been telling y'all that Karen Kern was at the Salamander, the spa. Stay 10 toes down in that. I don't remember if you discussed this before, but after the car crash during the season, we see the scene where she has the same exact car again, and Ray hit the starter button twice when they were going to go play golf. So I don't know if that was poor editing or if she went and got another car. But I do know in the state of Maryland, they will require her at some point to her get this breathalyzer thing that you have to breathe into before you start your car.
We saw it with Shannon.
I have a friend who had that for years, and he hated it. The sad part is he learned how to get around by trying to get other people to blow on it, but we always stood 10 toes down. It was like, no, you blowing it yourself. Well, give me your keys, now drive your car home.
And she needs her license revoked.
But how about, unfortunately, you can drive without a license. There's no way to verify that you're starting a car with a license. So, I mean,
well, she is a person that we all know and see. So anybody that sees her on the streets.
But you also have tents. So, I mean, it's unfortunately.
You have what?
You can tint your windows.
Tent. I think you said tent. I'm like, who drives around with a tent?
No, you can tint your windows. And again, she has a recognizable car. She has a white Maserati. Everyone has those. So it's not like that big of a deal. So she just needs to go away.
Lock her up. Keep her off the streets.
I've been saying that since I feel like she needs to get locked up. She needs to fill this. Justice for the street signs, not only the trees, but the street signs, because my street sign down here is knocked down because of a drunk driver. But Yes. And so now people are, because the county hasn't come put the sign up, people are driving through the stop sign. We got kids outside playing.
Oh, that's
the
dangerous.
stop sign is literally down and no one will come put it back up.
Wow.
Justice for the street signs as well.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Danielle.
So Karen needs to go. See you guys later.
Thank you. All right. Kenny's backstage. We're going to bring Kenny up next. Kenny, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Hey, how you doing? So, real quick, thank you for this special live. What I really want to say is this: if the Grand Dame was charged or locked up or got arrested 4 times, then she should definitely go to jail. I think they need to add that. Quick story. I live here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. A guy got drunk a couple weeks ago when the Eagles won the game, and he crashed into a school bus, and over 7 kids was hurt. So, taking her licenses away is one thing, but I really think that she needs to go to jail. I feel bad that now another one of Andy Cohen's housewives will be in prison, but you do the crime, you have to do the time. I'm sorry. As for Dr. Heavily, I love how she steps in it, and then all her so-called black gay friends, not going to say their names, but you know who they are, is online defending her. And I think that is disgusting. The certain African-American gay guys who have all the smoke for the Republicans need to have the same smoke for their best friend. But again, thank you so much for giving us this wonderful, wonderful live. And I can't wait to see you whenever you come back to Philly.
I know.
Hopefully it's soon.
Y'all keep asking for Philly. I want to make that happen.
I know Philly. I mean, I have told all my girlfriends and all my guy friends, and I got a couple straight friends. They all listen to you. Philly loves you. I'm just saying, giving you the boop boop, and you'll have to fly no plane to come to Philly. No. You can take the train.
Yes.
But love you. Have a good day and a good week. Okay.
You too. Bye, Kenny.
Bye.
I don't know if Kenny knows, but I did come to Philly last year. I mean, I will come again, but I did come to Philly last year. And someone asked at the show that they want me to come to Philly. Hey, the Brooke Ashley. The Brooke Ashley's in the building. Everyone show her love. She was our fabulous host for the Kempire After Dark live experience in New York City, of course. All right. Let me get to some more calls. Okay, so I can get out of here. I'm tired. All right. De La Shay's backstage. De La Shay, what's going on? You're muted.
Sorry, let me turn off my camera. Hey, Boo. I just wanted to say I appreciate you standing 10 toes down within the abolitionist spirit. I think now more than ever, I'm being so serious.
I wasn't ready for that. Okay, go ahead.
No, seriously, I was being so serious. I think now more than ever, we're talking about how, the systems are against us and how we know the history of slavery has moved into policing our neighborhoods and our people. And Karen, if we're going to carry that on, we do need to be steadfast in how we hold our community accountable. And I think that is the best medicine. She's clearly addicted to fame in the spotlight. So what better recourse than to have her be removed from Bravo and any kind of celebrity opportunities while also getting the clear help that she needs. That's it. Kudos to you.
Thank you, De La Shay. Have a good night. Okay. All right. Our last caller is going to, she did it in less than 30 seconds. I love that. All right. Dimples on Demand. I love that. Hold on. Dimples on Demand. What did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. I just wanted to comment on Dr. Heavenly.
Okay.
She is a very educated woman. She reminds us all the time that she is smart. She's a doctor, but she needs to recognize that her comments that she stated were unacceptable. We need to treat gay rights to a high regards as we treat women rights, trans rights, minority rights.
Yes.
And her backpedaling is not going to save her now. I think just like any other job, if you say something that's unacceptable at your job, you need to be released back to the community. And then as far as Karen and her DUI, I work as a nurse at an intake center, a detox center. And when I perform intake, it is important for me to see where the patients are and if they're ready to accept the treatment. And Karen is just not willing to accept that she has a problem. And that is the first step in accepting the treatment. Whether or not she went to a luxury facility is really not the biggest thing, because she can enjoy all the fabulosities of the facility, but is she ready or not to accept that she has a problem? And clearly she is not.
Thank you so much, Dimples on Demand. We appreciate your perspective.
Thank you.
Take care. Oh, we had such a great community and such a well-versed community. We appreciate everyone calling in. We did have a couple of super chats. I want to say thank you. Jocelyn, thank you so much for being a member and for the super chat. Jocelyn says, truly enjoyed your live stream Friday. You're amazing. Thank you, Jocelyn. I didn't realize. See, I wish I had a list of everyone that was watching, because then I would have shouted out all the people that we know. But I didn't. So I try to shout out the, at least our mods and things like that. But thank you so much, Jocelyn, for watching. And for those that did buy a ticket for the live stream, you have a week to watch it. So that's what they said. If you're part of the replay crew, be sure to like the video, be sure to share the video, and be sure to share your thoughts in the comment section. Tish, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Tish says, was her car not registered because it doesn't have the breathalyzer? Same for the suspended license charge. I don't understand. Was her car not registered because it doesn't have the breathalyzer? I'm not sure if I understand your question, Tish. Not sure. And maybe we don't have the answer in regards to it, so I don't know. Either way, thank you all for being here for our special breaking news live that we did. We appreciate our King's Guards. We appreciate all of you that came through. I hope you guys have a fantastic evening. I'm gonna go lay down and go put some ice on my arm. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night. Thank you all for being here. Don't forget to like the video if you haven't liked it already. We have 1,700 plus of you in here, and not even 1,000 likes. I'll wait. Look. All right, goodbye. I'm tired.
Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio podcast. As always, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And for everything Kempire Radio, head on over to KempireRadio.com.